Okay, it says I'm live, but I have to tell you, I'm a little freaked out because my camera's over here and my screen is over there. So you're going to get to see how much I'm using my outline today. I hope you can see me. I went live last week and it told me that you could see me. And then um, it did not record. Like it was a total error. I'm not sure what happened. Um, so anyway, it was just bad. But I am here. Welcome, welcome. I am so glad you are here. And yeah, somebody let me know. And that was so funny. Like I could see you chatting last week, and I was like, oh, they can see me. Okay, Dawn says I am actually live. I had this whole conversation with her afterwards. Like I could see you chatting, but I didn't know you couldn't see me. So, yay. So happy to be here. So happy to be here. Um, I have had computer issues. It has been a whole thing. It has not been fun, but we will survive. Speaking of issues, I don't know if anybody else has this issue other than me, but does anybody else buy planners and then, like, you have every intention of using them? You think you're going to use them. They look so great and so pretty and so awesome and so wonderful. And then you get to the end of the year and you wrote in maybe like 3 pages of them. I mean, this is a real struggle, right? The whole planner struggle. You buy it and you think, oh, this is great. This is awesome. I'm going to be able to use this. And then for whatever reason, you don't use it. And I think there's a reason for that. And I think I know what it is. And I think it is the fact that we don't have a system. We just have a planner and we think, oh, the planner is all I need. If I could just get a new planner, that would be awesome. That's going to solve all of my problems. When really, that doesn't solve any of the problems at all. What we really, really need is the planning system so we don't abandon our plan, right? So you're not alone if you've ever felt this way. You are totally not alone. This is something I think that happens to a lot of us. And maybe you're a younger mom. Maybe you've still got like preschoolers and babies. Maybe your kids are still in the wiggly stage where every day just seems totally unpredictable. And you wonder, like, am I failing? I'm here to tell you you're not failing. You're just trying to do the thing without the system that's going to support you. We think we need a perfect planner. It's not the planner. What we actually need is a rhythm, especially when our kids are super little. We need a rhythm that works even when someone has, like spills milk or cereal all over the floor. Oh my gosh, I have pictures of when my kids spilled cereal all over the place. Or maybe they have a meltdown about the little seam in the bottom of their socks or something like that. We need plans that are going to work even on those days. And so that is really what we're after. But let's think about it. Hey, Amber, let's think about what does the blank planner really mean when you come across that blank planner and you're like, oh, I'm a failure. It doesn't mean you're a failure. It means a few things, and you can really take heart in these. Number one, it means that you had such good intentions. You were going to get so much done. You were going to do so many things. You had aspirations for your little homeschool, right? And that's such a good thing. You're such a good mom for having those aspirations for your homeschool. It also means that life just happened. You had all these plans, but you woke up and life happened. More important things interrupted your day, and you dealt with those more important things, right? And then it could also mean that maybe we need a system that we could trust. Maybe we need a system that we could come back to again and again. And that's going to help us maybe get a few more things recorded in that planner. So it doesn't mean that you should give up. It does mean that maybe we should look at some different strategies. What are some other strategies that we could use? Maybe a strategy that bends without breaking, one that serves you and not the other way around. So I want to talk about, we've been talking a lot about independence in our community. And I realize that that is a topic that can be a little foreign when you have little ones around. If your oldest is like 9, and then maybe you have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old, and you hear the lady talking about independence on the internet, and you're like, that is crazy, because that is not happening at my house. The 9-year-old can maybe do 2 things by themselves, but everybody else needs me all the time. And I just want to say, this is such a great time for training and teaching our kids and mentoring and modeling. So, how do you plan a day when like you have so many goldfish crackers and potty breaks to deal with, right? How do you plan your day? Well, the first thing I want to talk to you about is anchor activities. These are kind of non-negotiable activities that you sprinkle throughout your day, and they really kind of move your day forward. So they do a few things. First of all, they're kind of, the great thing about them is once you establish these anchor activities, they are things that you can hang other hooks onto as you go along. So that's one of the things that I really love about them. And the other thing is they're going to give your day some shape. So let me talk to you about what they are. First of all, morning time. Morning time is a great anchor activity. This is a wonderful activity to start when your kids are young, because it is, first of all, just the best way to start your homeschool day. Because first, I mean, I could do like a whole live on this, and probably will later this summer, but it's like you're starting your day with delight. You're starting your day with a touch point. You're starting your day with something that where everybody can come together and that you enjoy doing. You can put some wonderful fun things at the beginning of your day. You can fill their cup a little bit before you ask them to do other things that are hard. You can pour into them before you ask them to produce something for you. And so morning time, even a very, very simple morning time, which is what everybody's morning time should be when your kids are little, that is something that is so important. So that is one of those anchor activities, one of those touch points. Another one are your read alouds. So maybe you do a read aloud time when you lay the baby down for a nap. Maybe you do a read aloud just after lunch. Maybe you play an audiobook when you lay the baby down for a nap. That's still an anchor point in your day. That's going to be something that you can later on tie some other habits to. Meals and snacks, those totally count. And listen, if your kids are really little, starting morning time while they're eating breakfast is not necessarily a bad thing. And then back to that quiet time. When you're laying the baby down for a nap, doing quiet time. Dawn Garrett, who is my sidekick here, did quiet time with her kids until they were really old. Really, really old. And so that is something that you can, and she did it so she could take a nap. She did it so she could get a rest in her day. And there's nothing wrong with that. But building in that quiet time and keeping it going, even when they stop napping, just because they stop napping doesn't mean like you have to let them up all the time now. It can still be quiet time. Takes a little bit of teaching and training, but you can get them to do it. And then also outside time. Outside time, you could build that into your day as well as something that happens every single day. So kids really thrive on predictability. And these anchors, they create a rhythm that builds a foundation that they can grow into. And you're teaching them when they're really, really young that our days have structure and we're going to follow certain patterns. And that feels really secure to them. And then later on, as you start nudging them into independence, it just feels like an extension of this security that you built in these systems when they were younger, as opposed to if you try to go from super willy-nilly to giving your kids a checklist and a schedule, it may be just a little more hard to do, right? So anchor activities is the first thing. The second thing is independent tasks, even for little kids. Even your preschoolers can have a job, right? And so what you want to do is like 1 or 2 activities that they can do on their own. Busy boxes are perfect for this. We include busy boxes in all of our Little Explorers plans. And that's just because a lot of times when moms have 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds, they need something for that child to be able to do while they're working with other kids. And so Busy Boxes brings them to the table and gives them something that they can start working on independently, even if it's something like playing with Play-Doh. That is their little school, their little job that they can do. And a lot of times little kids want to be like big kids. So you can totally play off of that. Also, they can pick up and put things away. So even if they just do one little independent activity every single day, you're still building on the independence that they're going to use later. So you're teaching them that part of their homeschool day belongs to them. It's something they can do by themselves. And this is the habit that's going to turn into self-directed learning down the road. All right. So anchor activities. Guys, if you could see my setup here, is like totally crazy. Thank you, Dawn. Actually, my setup here is I have a laptop balanced and I have my hand underneath it to keep it from falling over. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the third thing to think about if you are a mom with younger kids and you're trying to work into where does this independence and this homeschool planning thing work in for me is you need a plan that helps you feel steady because you are carrying a huge mental load in your homeschool. First of all, you're trying to keep all the little people in your house alive all the time. And then you're trying to teach a fair number of them how to read and how to do math. And so you have a lot of responsibilities. They say that the average human makes like 30,000 decisions in the morning or during the day or something like that. Homeschool moms, just multiply it by every kid you have. You're making decisions for everybody in the house all day long, and it is absolutely exhausting. And that is why having a plan, some kind of weekly rhythm that you're following, whether you're doing Monday nature study, Tuesday math games, or some kind of loop schedule where you create like an extras loop for art or music or poetry, or procedure lists. We teach you how to do all of these things and put your homeschool year on autopilot. And these are the things, especially those procedure lists, that really reduce the decision fatigue that you're going to feel as a homeschool mom. It takes a lot of it away, and you have something that you can follow when it's time to follow it. So we're not scheduling in the times or the dates in our calendars. We're not writing the lesson plan in the little grid, but we are creating these loops, these lists, these plans that we can follow when the time comes to follow it. And it is such a freeing way of planning your homeschool year. So this reduces your decision fatigue, and it also gives you a way to get back on track without throwing the whole week out the window. Right? So if you have said, you know what, we're going to follow this loop schedule, if your if your week gets messed up, if your days in the middle of the week get messed up, it's so much easier to get back on track because you just pick up where you left off. 100% just pick up where you left off. And you don't feel like, well, it's a whole week wasted. It's gone. I don't need to worry about it. Right? So it just makes your days smoother. All right. Put your homeschool year on autopilot. It is bonus time for autopilot right now. We have our independent student bonus. And yes, these are student planners, which may not work for your littlest kids, but the great thing about them is once you have them, you keep them forever and ever. So when your kids grow into these planners, you're going to be able to print them out and use them for all your kids. We have 3 different designs in there. We also have a little bonus class in there, what to do when your kids won't take independence. We kind of help you out figuring out how can you get them to step up and do what they need to do. And we also have the age by age independence guide, which starts as young as 3. And so we're starting as young as 3 years old, building that independence muscle with your kids, because by the time they get to 10, you've lost a lot of ground. So if we can start with them when they're early and build that independence muscle early, then when we really need them to take independence when they're 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, they're going to be able to do some of that on their own. And so it's just a really, really great little system that you can use. And you can come back to put your homeschool year on autopilot year after year after year. Come back every single summer. We've always got new bonuses for you. We're always there to help walk you through your planning. And yeah, it just gets easier year after year. All right, let me see. Were there any questions? If you've ever bought a planner that you've never used before, you just need the plan. That's what I'm going to tell you. All right. All right. Allison just signed up for it. She is excited and overwhelmed. So, Allison, at any time, if you have any questions at all, we're right there in the planning chat. Just drop your question. I'll be there to help you. Dawn will be there to help you. Dawn's always in there. And also, the other moms are in there. They can help you as well. So 100% drop any questions that you have in there, and we will be sure to help you out with that. All right. I am so glad I got to be live today. It was so sad last year to think I was live, to do the whole thing, and then there not even be a recording when I was done. I was so disappointed. So hopefully by the time I come next week, I ordered a new to me computer. It's a refurbished computer, but I ordered one and it'll all be set up. And I won't have to sit here and hold my laptop with my hand. And actually, I've noticed my picture's been a little jerky today. So thank you for your patience. That one should work a lot better. But I will be back next week. We will be talking, I think we're going to be talking about PE, actually. We have a fun new high school elective that's coming out next Monday. It's PE. And we are super excited about that. And so we're going to come back next week and talk about PE. So I would love to have you join me. And we'll probably touch on a lot of different high school electives as well. All right. Thank you so much. And you have an awesome rest of your day.